Here we go. We are live with the season 13 premiere of Irish Bandit Revolution. Holy crap. 13 seasons over 4 years. And this is also the 4 year spectacular. Kind of a couple days late, but well, technically a week late. But we'll get into that in a few moments. Because it was 4 years ago on Sunday that the debut episode of Irish Bandit Revolution premiered on YouTube. And we've been going ever since, and 120 episodes, I think, preceded this one. So, live from Rider Pride 639. Rider Pride, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Glad you could stop by. Okay, let's just get right down into it. Welcome back to another edition of Irish Bandit Revolution live streaming. I am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. It's great to be back. It's great to be anywhere. After the past 2 months have been happening to me, oh my god, that's a story in itself. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of other things, what to expect this coming season on Irish Bandit Revolution, and just a whole bunch of crazy crap happening. Got a new hat, as you can see, new t-shirt, but we're not going to talk about my wardrobe apparel. So let's just get right into it. Let's talk about what happened over the past month and a half, 2 months. So, the last video that I did was my Royal Rumble predictions, and I totally intended to do Royal Rumble recap, review type stuff. I intended to do a review of the WWE live show that was here in February 1st, I think that was. I intended to do a whole bunch of wrestling related videos that happened on Saturdays. None of it happened. And I'll tell you why none of it happened. I have fiber optic internet set up in my apartment. Now, we experienced the most brutal cold that there ever was. Like, the temperature here was just the coldest it's been in years. And fiber optic really does not like the cold because, the cable itself is just like a flexible glass, so it froze, and the people who installed it, they wound it a little too tight, so that snapped the cable and interrupted service into my apartment. Rider Pride says, longest cold snap in over 4 years, to be a little more precise. Yes, exactly. It was not fun. So, yeah. That happened. I don't know exactly when it happened because I went to my friend's place to watch the Royal Rumble, and they live out of town. So it happened somewhere over that weekend. So because it was working fine the Friday that I left, and then Saturday I wasn't home, Sunday I wasn't home, I came home Monday morning, unpacked, put all my stuff down, grabbed my iPhone, loaded up Facebook, nothing. Okay. Loaded up Instagram, nothing. Twitter, nothing. Turned on my TV. My Chromecast was reading, it says something like, connected to the internet but not receiving a signal. What is going on? So I start checking my gateway. I start checking my ONT box. My ONT box had a red light on it saying fail. Didn't that just symbolize life for you? So I called my internet service provider, told him what was happening, and was like, well, on my ONT box, because I don't know any of this crap. I'm looking all this up. Like, I'm using my data now on my iPhone. So, looking all this stuff up, and I'm saying, well, the ONT box is showing a red light that says fail. Okay, that's a problem. We're going to have to get somebody to look at that. Okay, fine. We can send somebody on Wednesday. Okay, I need this fixed right the hell now. I don't think I can wait until Wednesday. Well, if you'd like, if someone's available tomorrow, we can let you know ahead of time. Yeah, sure, fine. Okay, yeah, that works for me. So the next Tuesday, my internet service provider called and said, okay, we've had a cancellation, so we can get somebody to your place to look at your unit. Excellent, okay, sure. Will you be home between this time and this time? Yep, absolutely. So he comes over, he checks it. Yeah, your line got snapped. Oh, wonderful. So we're going to need to get somebody in to repair it and don't know how long it's going to take. Great. This is wonderful. So about a week later, I get a call again from my internet service provider, and they say, "Well, we're here at your apartment to check your line to see if it's working." I'm not at my apartment. I'm out shopping right now. Well, someone from the electrician we subcontract was supposed to contact you. I heard nothing from them. So once they got a hold of me, the contractor, the electrician that they subcontracted, then a week later got a hold of me, and then it's like, yeah, well, we can't do anything now until like it's a little warmer out. Oh my God, it was one of those things where the electrician just kept saying, oh, thank you for being so patient. I really had no choice but to be patient in this matter. It was like, what else can I do? So here I am from January 28th, we'll just say, because that's when I noticed that my service was out, to last Wednesday. That's how long my service was out for. So from January 28th to early March, my service was out. I was using nothing but my data at that point. Sounds like a case of it's too cold and I don't want. Well, kinda, but I can also see their point as well with the fiber optic cable, because under -20, that sucker will just freeze and it'll snap like a twig. So we started getting things done a piece at a time. Like, the one thing that I will say is that every time someone came to look, be it the technician that they sent or the electrician, we got a little closer to fixing the problem. We didn't get fully there until last Wednesday, but we got a little closer every time. So that's one thing that I'm thankful for. And finally, everything got hooked back up. The weird thing was that they set up this whole elaborate, cable system that plugged into one cable, then plugged in my ONT box. The electrician was just able to plug the wire into my ONT box the whole time. Yeah, it was. You mean they could have done that the whole time? Jeez. Well, whatever. My internet is back, so I'm back to making videos, and that's the one thing that really bugged me over the time. I reacquired loves for watching DVDs again during the 2 months I was down, because it's all I could do. It got very monotonous going to the library every day to download stuff from YouTube and Netflix to watch it at home. After a while, I finally smartened up, and instead of just listening to everything through the speaker on my tablet, I hooked it up to my Bluetooth speaker, and the sound quality was much, much better. Doesn't beat my TV, but it was much, much better. So, Ryder Pratt will get that. And that's another thing I got to talk about quickly, because we were hit with some bad news that one of my favorite places in the city, Manabar, is now closed, which really, really sucks, because it was a great place, and I'm sure you've seen some of the videos that I've done while I was there. And just, Chris put his heart and soul in this, and I hate seeing things like that just kind of crumble. And Manabar was a really great place, and it's another place that I'm going to miss immensely. All right, so we've talked about all that. Let's talk about what's coming up, because we got to talk about this season. We got to talk about videos coming up very, very soon, so let's start with that. I was going to do a review of the Paul Heyman DVD that's still coming, but I got an op-ed piece coming this Saturday that, after the events of Raw last night, I really got to get this off my chest, because it just infuriated me to no end. And I'm going to talk about why Baron Corbin was the wrong decision for Kurt Angle's final match. Now, I've heard a lot of people saying, well, it's going to change. I've heard some people say it's not going to change. It's going to stay Baron Corbin. That's what's in the plans. I've heard people say that, oh, yeah, the plan is actually it's going to change to John Cena, which is what I was going for. But I'm going to talk about that more on Saturday. And then just look at the future. Got the Kurt Angle. Yeah, I wish. The Paul Heyman DVD review coming up. I'm going to have my WrestleMania predictions. I don't know how many videos that's going to take, because that's going to be like 17 matches on the card, and it's going to be like 8 hours long. I hope there's an intermission for a nap. I really do. Like 15-minute siesta. Like 15-minute break. Okay, we're taking a nap. Wake me when it's back on. Remember the days when they used to do intermissions during WrestleMania? I miss those days. I really do. So let's talk about this season of Irish Bandit Revolution, because this is what we're all here for. So we got the 4-year spectacular happening right now. Thank you for joining me. Next week on the show, well, I'll get into next week on the show. What's this? WrestleMania party, you say? You're going to have to talk to J&G about that one. I'll talk about next week's episode at the end of this episode. So coming up, got another edition of Rank It coming. It's one of my favorite FX series, Rescue Me, starring Dennis Leary. Great, great show. And I'm going to rank every season which one I thought was the absolute best. Then the week after that, we got my 5 favorite series finales. If you know me for a long time, you probably know what my favorite series finale is. Then we got another live episode coming up after that. State of the channel, which I'm so happy with everything that's going on with the channel so far. I'll get into a little bit about that after I'm done here. Then I'm taking a week off. I'm going to be back on April 30th with Comic Books Month. We're going to be talking about bringing The Walking Dead from comic book form to TV and now movies. I'm going to talk a little bit about the history of The Crow. My 5 favorite TV series based on comics. We'll be looking back at Spawn, everything Todd McFarlane. We're going to talk about the comic books, the movies, the action figures, the little empire he just kind of built for himself. And then we got the live season finale. So that is all coming up very, very soon. So let's talk a little bit about what's been going on with the channel, because I've been, even 2 months away, and I'm still getting consistent views every day, which is great. The WWE Championship unboxing is still getting great views and is on track to becoming my first video to have over 2,000 views, so keep that up. And the channel growth is continuing. We are now at 71 subscribers. And, I was talking with a friend of mine about the channel growth, and she's expecting me to hit 100 by the end of the year. Or either the end of the year or my birthday. I can't remember which one. But honestly, if I hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year, right on. If it's earlier than that, that's even better. I'm just so impressed with everything that's been happening so far, and I can't wait to... It's things like that really make it a joy to do something like this every week. Put out a new episode, talk about things that I love. And I'm making another announcement right now. At the end of last season, I announced that season 18 might be the series of the final season of Irish Bandit Revolution. I've already started planning out season 19. So no, season 18 will not be the final season. Because it's one of those things where I'll start thinking about something and it's like, ooh, I wonder if I can fit that into one of the seasons. And I look and I look and look, and nothing is open for season 18. I have an idea for an episode that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be darker, more serious. I'm going to try to lean more into that coming up very, very soon. But just taking a look at some of the episodes I've got coming up, like season 14, I'm talking about best Batman animated films. My 5 favorite Disney villains. I'm going to be doing Then and Now will be returning in season 14 as I'm looking at the original 1984 classic. You know, it's one of my favorite movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, and the disappointing 2010 remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. I say disappointing because that was the general consensus. I didn't mind it myself, but we'll talk more about that. Then I've got a new segment coming up in season 14. It's called In Defense of. Now, originally I was going to make this in defense of a certain song, but I'm going to make it about more in defense of the artist who sang the song and why he really shouldn't get the flack that he gets and be known for much more than his famous daughter. I think you already seen the clues right there. Famous daughter, Hannah Montana. We'll talk more about that. Then of course got my Sask Expo rundown coming up. Oh, if you haven't heard the lineup for Saskatchewan Expo Regina, holy crap, LeVar Burton coming to Regina. I hope we can get some names like that for September. Then taking a quick peek at season 15. Yeah, that's it. Got a 3-part retrospective on one of my favorite movie franchises that kind of spun off to a different franchise that has just been equally great as well. I think when I say, oh, Adrian, you know what I'm talking about. Then we got my 5 favorite episodes of SOA. Very Bandit Christmas is going to be returning. Now that it's done and over with, I'm going to be talking about I'm going to rank every season of Once Upon a Time. I'll tell you right now, season 5 is at the very bottom of the list because that season was. Then we got season 16, 5 years. I love the title of this one. 5 years and 150 episodes later. Doesn't get more basic than that. Then I'm doing another Then and Now of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original and the remake starring Jessica Biel, which I absolutely loved. Then we got a Taken retrospective. Doing another month of, I don't want to say Marvel, because it starts out with Marvel. Like, I'm talking about my 5 favorite MCU movies. The Great Spider-Man debate. I don't know what that's going to be of. Probably of who is the better Spider-Man. Tom Holland. What? Cinematic history, talking about the cinematic history of a certain Marvel character. Not going to say who just yet, but I gave some clues when I announced that episode. And you'll see that. Then we talk about my 5 favorite DC movies. That kind of shifts from Marvel to DC. Then we got season 17, retrospective of the Friday the 13th franchise, 3-parter. And in season 17, season 17, I'm going to have my first ever 2-part rank it because this show, which will be ending next year, I think, season 15, it lasted 15 seasons, so I'm going to need more than one episode to rank every season of that show, and it's a show I absolutely still love to this very day. Then we got season 19, season 18, season 19. We'll talk about that more as time goes on. All right, well, I think that will wrap it up for this episode. Wow, normally I do about like 12 minutes of these live episodes, and I've already gone near 20, so that's awesome. So, I will wrap up this episode, so look forward to more coming very, very soon. I gotta remember how I end this thing. It's been so long. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate that. Share this video anywhere you can. In the description down below, you're going to see a link to, eventually you're going to see a link to my Redbubble store where you can pick up all your Irish Bandit merchandise, which gives me a quick reminder. Thank you to Tyler Fisher and Nick Fisher for picking up some Irish Bandit merchandise. I saw your picture on Instagram or Twitter and Instagram. Yeah, that's it. I've known Nick for a long time. We used to host Rock and the Unicorn together, so very awesome that I got to see him wearing some Irish Bandit gear. That is so cool. They were at the WWE event and sent me the pictures like, holy crap, that's awesome. So be sure to be like Nick and pick up your Irish Bandit merchandise at the Redbubble store. Over my shoulder, I don't know which one. Funny thing happens because sometimes the video will be inverted when I look back at it. So it's like, to me right now, my Seth Rollins logo is like backwards. but sometimes when I watch it again, it'll be the right way. So it's going to be over one of my which one. You're going to see a link to last season's playlist, so you can check that out. And yeah, I think that'll wrap it up for this episode. Idiot next door is yelling. So, all right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Oh, next week's episode. That's right. I don't remember how to do this. Next week, we are going to be talking about the Lord of the Rings series, one of my absolute favorites, as we look back at all three movies in the Lord of the Rings retrospective. So I hope you join me for that one. I will talk to you again very, very soon, guys. Take care. Have a great week. I'm the Bandit, and I'm out of here. Deuces.